More recently, there have been reports about arrest of senior executive officers working for Vivo operations in India. Vivo, as you know, is a very famous uh, mobile telephone maker from China, and they have invested heavily in India. Such reports of arrests of senior officers working for Vivo by the Indian authority is alarming to a very large extent. Why? Because India need to really have a very good pro-business environment to start with, to allow foreign multinationals making more investments in India, creating more jobs for the Indian population. However, as record has shown, India actually has very poor record in dealing with multinationals from many countries. And in more recent years, this kind of harsh treatment of Chinese investments in India, especially focusing on telecom sector, mobile phone makers and otherwise, have been raising one round of alarm after another. This also exposes the harsh reality in India as to how to deal with foreign multinationals which want to make investments in India. Now, there are several reasons for this. One is that I'm afraid bureaucracy, red tape in India is still very much of a problem. There need to be a lot of reform of the regulatory framework and increasing the efficiency of the regulators and government officials of all kinds in different parts of India doing the regulation of the businesses in India. Secondly, allow me to say corruption is also a major problem in India. And how the government authorities in different parts would work together to make sure that the business environment is very transparent, very open-minded, and very clean, and also very much allowing foreign businesses to operate in India is a major challenge. Now, there is another reason. From the Indian perspective, they sometimes hype up concern about security issues, especially so-called security issues created by Chinese companies making investments in India. But they need to really focus on one fact. That is, China by today is a major manufacturer of telecommunication equipment, mobile phone makers of all kinds, including the very high premium level of smartphone, like by Huawei, for example, and also medium ranked and also lower end mobile phones, which are good quality, but also very affordable. Now, for the Indian market, the overwhelming majority of the consumers in India actually want to have a China-made phone, which is durable, good quality, multifunctional, but also relatively cheap. Now, for the Indian government, not to improve the business environment, to allow more foreign investments into India to operate in a very successful way, and also sometimes to discriminate against Chinese investments, like Vivo, for example, is actually not conducive to promote the best interest of the Indian consumers and India as a country. India's population is still growing very steadily. That means, for example, whatever the size of the Indian economy today, it is expected to increase further, not only in terms of the additional population growth itself, but also in terms of the per capita wealth to be increased in the coming few years. Therefore, the attraction of the Indian market for the Chinese enterprises is indeed there. However, the companies need to be very realistic in undertaking their investments in India.